This is numbers 13 through 18 on the study guide. Number 13 says we're supposed to find the measure of angle ABC, which is right here where that X is marked at. So perhaps what we want to do is we want to figure out what maybe this angle is right here. The angle relationship between these two are vertical angles, and vertical angles are always congruent. So I'm going to say that these are both 83 degrees. Now, if you'll notice, I see that I have parallel lines, and I have two angles that are on the same side of the transversal inside, same side interior. Same side interior angles are supplementary. So 83 plus something is going to equal 180. So you can use the 180 and subtract 83, and what you get is that this would be 97 degrees. So the measure of angle ABC is 97 degrees. This picture right here is a mistake, shouldn't be on there, so ignore that. So number 14, we're dealing with this figure right here. And notice we've got lines here that are marked as parallel, kind of right there. And so therefore, what does that mean? Well, it means that these two angles, which happen to be on opposite sides of the transversal, so that would be alternate sides of the transversal, and they're inside the parallel lines, makes them alternate interior angles. Therefore, your alternate interior angles are going to be congruent, so their measures are going to be the same. So we set them equal to each other. So if I subtract 5x from both sides, I get 3x minus 34 equals 2. If I add 34 to both sides, 3x equals 36. If I divide both sides here by 3, x equals 12. And now we're supposed to find the measure of angle DEF. So what we're going to use is this 5 times the x, which we just found is to be 12, plus 2. So you want to do 5 times 12, and then we're going to add 2 to it, and you're going to get a total of 62 degrees. Alright, the next set of problems say that we're supposed to name angle relationships here. So we see you've got all sorts of parallel lines. What you could do in theory is you could cover up this one here, and so that way you're just working with this, essentially, this right here. So you kind of ignore all this one and these two outside ones. All we need to really is that inside here. Trying to cover it up so you can see that one, and it's two parallel lines. So, alternate interior angles. Inside the parallel lines here, these two parallel lines, and on opposite sides of the transversal, we see we have angle 3 and angle 5. Also, we could do something like inside these two parallel lines, we could have angle 4 and angle 6. Both of those would be acceptable. Alternate exterior angles, you want them to be on the outside of these two parallel lines. So outside would be either 1 and 2 or 8 and 7, but they need to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So that would be like 2 and 8. Or you could see we've got 1 and 7, angle 1 and angle 7. If you are having a hard time visualizing this, then what you really should do is just transfer your information and get rid of all the extra lines. Because then you can put your 1 and 2, 4 and 3, 5 and 6, 8 and 7 right here. And then that way you can see it a little bit better. There's 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Same side interior, if you're looking at this figure here, same side of the transversal would be like 4 and 5. Or you could go to the same side on this side right here, which would be angle 3 and angle 6. Corresponding angles, there's a whole bunch of sets here. You could say that you got 1 and 5. You could say that you've got 4 and 8. You could say that you've got 2 and 6. And you could say that you've got angle 3 and angle 7.